Welcome back, brothers and sisters. We are green. We are good to go. Guys, I do not even know where we're about to go exploring the cluster F that just dropped with this whole Epstein thing. Guys, send this out to everybody. As you get in here, let me know the audio, the video is good, because we're about to walk through a quagmire of just wow. Anyway, as we're getting into this, guys, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on if you're watching on the replay, and please, just let me know what you guys think in the comments below. As always, I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, and this is going to be a thing because what we dedicate this channel to is charting a course towards freedom. We put a destination on the path and we go. And this right here, what I'm about to show you, the cluster F, that is the explosion on the internet right now, is not the path we need to be going down. Because what just happened, I'm going to walk you through the entire thing, guys, and I've been watching this pretty closely for the last 2 or 3 hours. This is the biggest cluster F I've seen in a minute. All right, everything's going to be linked in the description box below. I always bring the receipts. I want to make sure you guys are in here, and we've got the audio and video. Awesome. We are good. Just do all the things, and please make sure you follow me at Braden LOA, where you get the breaking news on this stuff, and we have the conversation. We're almost at 10,000 followers on there. We'd love to have you over there, and it's a blast. But as we've got enough people in here now, let's get into this. Guys, this is a little off the beaten path of what we usually talk about, but it's extremely important, particularly when you're talking about what we covered earlier today about the FBI and the investigation that they opened up around the whole honeypot thing with the female agents. Guys, we have a massive problem, a very large problem. I'm going to walk you through the entire thing, but as you guys are sure aware, the Epstein files were released today. You guys know this little shenanigan right here, where they had pre-printed binders and they walked out in front and they held it up to the media, basically saying, you know, the social media profiles get it before the media does, and kind of holding that binder right there. And it openly turned out to be a redacted nothing burger. Yeah. Apparently, there's a pretty big backlash happening online, and I'm going to show you all of these tabs here in a second as to what I mean. And now there's the AG has put out a letter saying that the New York field office is in complete rebellion, just not giving any of the documents. And guys, if you are watching this and you're in the White House, or you're in the PR, or you're in the Republicans, or you're in some sort of position of influence, this is probably one of the worst rollouts I've seen in a minute on anything. All right. Let's get into this, because this is, yeah, Sal, you're confused? Yeah, wait till you see the rest of this. I think everyone's confused. This is a thing. Okay, so now keep in mind, as we go through this is how the information was released today. Those are all very big Twitter accounts and following and social media account individuals and personalities, and it turned out to be a nothing burger. Okay, now let me show you where we're at. This is from my good buddy Mike, Mr. Guns and Gear himself. So Pam Bondi said that the Epstein files were on her desk a few days ago. Absolutely verifiable. It absolutely happened. Then they release what they have today, which is nothing. Then she sends a letter to the FBI director directing him to deliver all to her desk by 8 a.m. tomorrow. The timeline seems odd to me. And guys, that's the whole point of what we're about to walk through. This timeline and what they're saying now and their reactions to the public outrage. Because honestly, this is a public outrage, all right? This doesn't make any sense at all. At all. You make this huge deal about the fact that you're going to release these Epstein files. You have the media there, or the new media, as Elon Musk would say, and the social media profiles there for a big photo op with pre-printed binders, and there's nothing in them. You know nothing's in them. Okay, hold on, wait for it. This is where it just doesn't make sense. Eric Doherty, this is a big account. Pam Bondi should hold a press conference. This is absolute insanity. Let the people know what's happening. Now I'm going to jump over to Tim Pool's post. Breaking. The FBI New York appears to have gone rogue. AG letter says FBI New York is withholding critical Epstein documents. This after reports that the FBI was secretly destroying Epstein documents. What the F is happening? That is a very good question. I'm going to read that for you in a second, because there's a better, here we go. Right here. There's a better copy. And then I'll show you this post. Let me just read what the AG just put out today after this information was released, or therefore, really the lack of information was released. Listen to this. Office of Attorney General, Washington, D.C., February 27th, 2025. Yep, that's today. Dear Director Patel, so this is the Kash Patel. Before you came into office, I requested the full and complete files related to Jeffrey Epstein. In response to this request, I received approximately 200 pages of documents, which consisted primarily of flight logs, Epstein's list of contacts, and a list of victims' names and phone numbers. I repeatedly questioned whether this was the full set of documents responsive to my request and was repeatedly assured by the FBI that we had received the full set of documents. Late yesterday, remember, this is the time frame, all right? Late yesterday, I learned from a source that the FBI field office in New York was in possession of thousands of pages of documents related to the investigation and indictment of Epstein. Despite my repeated requests, the FBI never disclosed the existence of these files. They lied. This is the whole rogue element. When you and I spoke yesterday, you were just as surprised as I was to learn this new information. By 8 a.m. tomorrow, so this is tomorrow morning, February 28th, the FBI will deliver the full and complete Epstein files to my office, including all records, documents, audio and video recordings, and materials related to Jeffrey Epstein and his clients, regardless of how such information was obtained. I thought that was an interesting addition. There will be no withholdings or limitation to my or your access. The Department of Justice will ensure that any public disclosure of these files will be done in a manner to protect the privacy of victims and in accordance with law, as I have done my entire career as a prosecutor. Little self-cover there. I am also directing you to conduct an immediate investigation into why my order to the FBI was not followed, because this is the deep state bureaucratic monster, that's why. You will deliver to me a comprehensive report of your findings and proposed personal action within 14 days. I appreciate your immediate attention to this important matter. I know that we are both committed to transparency for the American people, and I look forward to continuing to work with you to serve our president and our country. Now, here's the rub of this, and I'm going to leave this on for a second. And again, guys, follow me at Braden LOA because this is important stuff and you get it faster that way. This document is not something that was just crafted within 2 minutes of releasing these things with these people right over here. Hold on, let me show you them again. These people got the documents in this pre-printed file, holding it up triumphantly, and then Pam Bondi just happened to craft this letter within an hour after this photo op was taken, and it turned out to be a nothing burger. This doesn't make sense. And again, going back to and there's a reason I'm going in this angle, so hold on a second. And going back to this exact letter, it doesn't, by 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, okay, well, if you knew last night, why was there still this big press release of the Epstein files are being released with all these big influencers? Because if you had this inclination of what was happening, why would you not immediately change everything, start doing some posts, start doing some announcements and press conferences saying, oh, we got a situation and here's what's going on? Because what this looks like is extremely disorganized. If you've got an FBI office in New York going completely rogue, comfortable enough to openly say it in this letter that was released today, guys, this does not feel right, which goes back to Mr. Guns and Gear. Mike, the timeline does not make sense on this. Okay, so now let's continue. I got even more of this stuff. This is the actual tweet that Charlie Kirk put out. AG Pam Bondi has ordered newly confirmed FBI Director Kash Patel to conduct an immediate investigation into why the FBI field office of New York failed or refused, it was refused, to follow her directive to hand over all information and evidence related to the Epstein case. Bondi has discovered that the New York field office is in possession of thousands of additional pages of documents related to Epstein, which Bondi says will be on her desk by 8 a.m. tomorrow. Okay. If you have an office in full-on rogue status doing whatever the F they want when the Attorney General, the FBI Director, and all existing authorities tell them to do something, they repeatedly lie and then they give the old, this bad boy, do you think they're going to respond to a letter? This is the problem, and this is why I'm doing this. I'm going to show you a bunch more tabs here because it kind of goes to this point. Earlier today, I did a video on the FBI and how they went off the books with the honeypot thing and the Trump campaign. Well, now, if you look at what's happening here, it looks like this entire thing is a disorganized mess. There's no way you crafted this in the last 2 hours after the influencers got their hands on it. It turned out to be nothing, and there was a bit of an online uproar about it. Okay, well, now we're going down this road of, well, that's a part of it, but let's look at the rest of it, okay? Let's go straight over here to Glenn Beck, and this kind of goes to that same point, because this goes towards, we're irritated because the exact same feeling that we got when the Biden administration was in power of being lied to is starting to kind of like tap in the back of our heads. I'm not saying they're lying to us. What I'm saying is We already have trust issues with these people, and now we're getting this. It does not strike well. That's my point. Let's continue, though. From Glenn Beck, quote, "If I were Donald Trump and no matter what I had planned, if I had an agency in rebellion, I would get on my plane and I would fly to New York and I would personally fire every single person and I'd put a padlock on the door in the Southern District of New York." That's not a bad idea. But again, this speaks to the frustration. Now, I got to hit something. And again, I am not going after the people who did this. I'm not going after the conservative influencers. I'm not trying to pick a fight and I'm not trying to be mean to them. But this looks like backpedaling. Okay, let me show you this. This is from Liz Wheeler. Exclusive. Late last night, after it was clear Attorney General Pam Bondi would be immediately releasing the Epstein files, a source notified Bondi that the Southern District of New York is hiding more Epstein documents. Lots more. If it was obvious last night, you had last night and you had this morning to address this. But instead, Liz Wheeler is in that first image. That's the whole point. That's her on the right. If Liz Wheeler already knew that this was going to be happening and this post was ready, why are we doing this? This is not helping us. Anyone. Okay, let's continue. We're talking evidentiary lists, names, those files that where the big names are and recordings. The FBI hid this, hid it from Bondi, hid it from Kash Patel, hid it from you. AG Bondi has now ordered all Epstein-related content to be delivered so she can make it public. Thank you, Pam Bondi. Again, guys, it's the same letter. If this was truly the organizational issue that they had, it doesn't look good. In fact, let me go with one more thing that Liz posted. Oh, actually, I'm going to do Kash Patel real quick because he responded like 20 minutes ago. And again, this is really important, guys. And I'm going to look in the comments here in a second. I'm just trying to lay this out. The FBI is entering a new era. This is from FBI Director Kash Patel. You can see all of it on screen, and everything is linked. And you can follow me at Braden LOA on X to be up to date more quickly on this. But anyway, one that will be defined by integrity, accountability, and the unwavering pursuit of justice. There will be no cover-ups, no missing documents, and no stone left unturned. And anyone from the prior or current Bureau who undermines this will be swiftly pursued and brought to justice. If there are gaps in the Epstein investigation, we will find them. If records have been hidden, we will uncover them. And we will bring everything we find to the DOJ to be fully assessed and transparently disseminated to the American people as it should be. The oath we take is to the law and the Constitution, and under my leadership, that promise will be upheld without compromise. I love that. But the problem is we now have this coming out after this right here. When you have this and it's promised to be everything, and then shortly after that, when there's an outrage uproar coming out on the internet, you all of a sudden have a letter ready about something that happened last night, and now you're putting out pieces like this. It does not look good. I'm not questioning the intention or the integrity of the people in question. I'm saying from an optics perspective, this looks like what has always happened. A underneath the shroud of darkness, underneath behind the curtain, underneath the rug. We don't get to see it, but we will see it, but we might see it. It strikes a very bad experiences for people. That's why a lot of you are going to feel like this. That's why I feel about this. Now, let me show you this one little thing. This kind of, I don't know how I feel about this. You guys can let me know what you think in the comments, because this feels like a very positive spin on something in general. That's just what it feels like. You guys can let me know. Quote from Liz Wheeler. This is the last thing we're going to cover, then we'll tie it all together. This is the story. Again, remember, Liz Wheeler is in this picture right there on the right. Blonde hair, short girl, or woman. That's who that is, okay? So she posed for this, said retribution is coming, and now she said this. A couple hours later. This is the story. President Trump and AG Pam Bondi committed to releasing the Epstein files. The FBI was told to deliver the files to Bondi. They did, around 200 pages. Okay, first of all, 200 pages, come on. Bondi smelled a rat. Okay, if Bondi smelled a rat, then say last night or this morning, you smell a rat, change of plans, we're going to go hunt the rat. Anyway, let's continue. Because there was nothing juicy in the 200 pages, just flight logs and a Rolodex of phone numbers, no smoking gun. That's the same stuff you posed with a pre-printed binder. Anyway, still, Bondi promised to release the documents, so she prepared a binder of them. You guys have obviously said that. I've mentioned it a few times. Then, last night, a whistleblower contacted Bondi and revealed that the SDNY was hiding potentially thousands of Epstein files, defying Bondi's order to give them all to her. So again, the angle that's being painted right here is that Bondi smelled a rat. Well, if she smelled a rat, then why did she not put a rat trap out? That's my whole point. Also, back to the earlier point, that letter that I just read to you is not something that was thrown together in 2 hours. That was clearly ready last night. So why not address it last night or this morning? Anyway, keep going. Again, it speaks to perception and management of perception. All right. Get them to it. We're talking recordings, evidence, etc., the juicy stuff, names. These swamp creatures at SDNY deceive Bondi, Cash, and you. And this is the part where, just hold on. Be outraged that the binder is boring. You should be, because the evil deep state lied to your face. Well, okay, and this is the part where I'm... Is that the evil deep state lying to my face? Right there? Those people holding the binders? Okay, let's just keep going. Because again, this is about perception. The binder is powerful because it's tangible physical evidence of the disgusting stunt the SDNY tried to pull. So now the binder that was not powerful and it's a nothing burger is a powerful something burger because it points to the fact that there's nothing in it, and that's why there's nothing in it, because the FBI lied to you. Guys, and I mean this with the utmost respect. This is the stuff that I make entire videos on the left and the gun controllers, mocking them because it is that cyclical. Okay, let's keep going. Goodness gracious. Bondi is now demanding all the Epstein evidence from SDNY plus an investigation into the persons who committed this act of defiance. I'm down with that. I support that. The legacy media has betrayed you again and again and again. True. They lie to you. True. They smear you. True. They gaslight you. True. They deserve no special access to real-time exposure of corruption. Okay, whatever. Because they played a role in covering it up in the first place. Yes, they did. I would agree. You are the media, Elon said. Yes, we are. So celebrate the regular people are being given access to the most powerful people in our country to report on despicable corruption that is being uncovered in real time. But you're not. That's the big problem here. If you had something in that binder that you posed with, it would be that exact narrative right there. But there was obviously something wrong with the timeline. I'll continue again. Hold on. I'm getting distracted. And be very, very angry that deep state agents in the swamp at the SDNY are at this very moment defying President Trump and AG Bondi and you who voted him into office, lying and hiding the truth about Jeffrey Epstein because they don't want their own corruption and weaponization of government exposed. That's the story. That's fine. If that's the story, it's a little hyperbolic, but if it's the story, don't lead with this. This makes you have to do posts like this, where you have to back up what your intentions are, where you have people like Tim Pool going, WTF is happening, where you have people like Eric saying, you need a press conference now, where you have Mr. Gunzengear saying the timeline doesn't make sense. Because, guys, and this is the big point, and please follow me on X, guys, just to be on the tip of the spear with me on this. We're almost at 10,000. Here's the big point. If you have a bunch of people who are very used to being lied to and they hate being lied to and constantly being misled, like we all feel, you guys can let me know in the comments right over there. I feel that way. But don't do the exact same silly tactics that got us angry in the first place to put these people in power. This is where it all falls apart because you think you're infallible. You're not infallible. This was a blunder in a rollout. If you truly had someone and you knew last night they were not telling you everything, then cancel the rollout and say why. This was an easy softball that just got missed, and now it's going to be a problem because the trust has been dented. It's not dead, and I'm not hitting their integrity or their intention, but the trust has been dented and the perception has been dented. That's the entire point of why this is such a big deal. I hope I landed this plane. Follow me on X, and just, guys, everything will be linked. I'll see you on the next one. Good Lord, I hope this gets